gentlemen, girls and boys, welcome to Coach Stadium for season number 20 of Barrie Baycats Baseball. Tonight's Inter-County Baseball League game features the visiting the London Majors in your 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, and 2019 IBL champion Barrie Baycats.
Somebody get him some oxygen.
Here's the starting lineup. First for the London Majors, managed by Ruth Janderdat.
All right. Yeah.
Leading up the shortstop, number 6, Chris McQueen. Batting second in center field, number 28, Austin Wilkie. Batting third and catching, number 22, Byron Rickstein. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 35, Cleveland Brownlee. Batting fifth at second base, number 7, Hayden Jaco. Batting sixth, the right fielder, number 13, Adam Philman. Batting seventh at third base, number 8, Julian Johnson. Batting eighth to left field, number 30, Robert Doyle. And batting ninth at first base, number 45, Evan Britt. Pitching for the Majors tonight, number 29, Lucas Kelly. Now the starting lineups for your Barrie Baycats, managed by Josh Matlow. Leading off the center fielder, number 15, Jake Wilson. Batting second baseman, number 42, Jeff Callan. Batting third, the designated hitter, number 27, Ryan Rio. Batting fourth at shortstop, number 13, Marcel Lacasse. Batting fifth, the right fielder, number 28, Avery Tuck. Batting sixth, the left fielder, number 14, Owen Jensen. Batting seventh at third base, number 8, Frankie Infante. Batting eighth, the first baseman, number 34, James Anderson. And batting ninth at catching, number 44, Tyler Plumpton. Pitching for your Baycats late, number 30, Juan Benitez. Here are the umpires for tonight's game called the balls and strikes. Mr. Jeff Rose. At second base, Mr. Chris Walters. And at third base, Mr. Ryan Jackson. Fans, would you please rise? Kindly remove your caps for our national anthem.
Good evening from Coast Stadium in Springwater. It is the third of 5 regular season matchups between the London Majors and the Barrie Baycats. A very happy Saturday evening to you. With Patrick Melbourne tonight, I'm Ben Davy, and Patrick, a big game tonight for both of these clubs, certainly for the Baycats, wanting to erase the short memory of their last disappointing loss to the Brantford Red Sox a night ago. For London, an equally important game as they look to widen their lead on the rest of the pack on the top of the IBL standings.
Yeah, both teams are going to be wanting to have a short memory today, especially the Barrie Baycats. Last night was a really, really tough one. Today, though, all evidence points to them being able to put that right behind them. They have their ace on the mound. They have a big top of the order. They're going to want to get out early and really solidify this one as early on as possible.
Let's take a look at the Majors lineup as they make their first trip to Barrie this season. Chris McQueen, the shortstop, will lead it off. Austin Wilkie in center, batting second. Byron Rickstein is the catcher, batting third. Cleveland Brownlee, the veteran DH, in the cleanup spot. Hayden Jacko at second, batting fifth. Adam Filmon, the right fielder, is in right field and hitting sixth. And then the bottom third of the order, Julian Johnston at third base, Robert Doyle in left field, and Evan Barrett is the first baseman tonight. And they'll face number 31, Benitez for the Baycats, 29 years old, from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, 6'6", 200 pounds, and he is the ace of the Baycats starting rotation, no question.
Absolutely. 4-1 with a 2.55 ERA. In 42 innings, he's got 30 strikeouts. That's good. 16 walks. That's pretty low. He averages just under a hit an inning, and he'll really have to do that tonight. The momentum in Josh Matlow's mind, I think, he mentioned it a little while ago, that it really does lie with Juan Benitez. When he's on, it gives them a really good step, especially when bullpen is a little bit shaky. The rest of the rotation, you might not 100% know what's going on day to day. As the rest of that shapes up toward the playoffs, Benitez has been their rock. He's been their guy. And a guy with as much experience as he's had, he's a good person to have at the top of the order.
Last worked in Kitchener on August 15th. It was a 7-2 Baycat win, and Benitez gave them 7 strong innings in that ball game early on in this season. He struggled to just get the 5 innings in. The Baycats would like to get him deeper in ball games, and he's done that the last 3 of the last 4 outings at least. He's gone 7 innings or more, so that's certainly a good sign for the Baycat ace hurler.
Yeah, the 2 big keys for him: front of the game, end of the game. From his perspective, he has to limit early and let that top of the Baycats batting order come up to the plate with no runs against them, and then he has to go deep into games. 7 innings is what Josh Matlow is going to look for today. It's been his peak so far this year. That's what he's looking for today.
Jeff Rose is the home plate umpire, Chris Walters at first, and Ryan Jackson at third tonight as Juan Benitez toes the rubber. And Chris McQueen steps into the batter's box on a hot, muggy night here in Springwater. Benitez winds, first pitch high and away. And we're underway at 7:02 tonight. Game time temperature 27 degrees, feeling like 34 with the Humidex. Should stay dry through the evening. There is a 30% chance of showers, but all things considered, it looks like it's going to be a good night for baseball here this evening in Springwater. Count is even 1 ball and 1 strike.
It's abrupt to say that this is going to be one of the more important innings for Benitez, but I really think it is. First time through the order. The hitters are not going to have a ton of recognition against you because it's your first year in the league.
On the ground, right back to the pitcher, and an easy toss to first. And there's 1 down in the inning. Let's take a look at the defense tonight for the Barrie Baycats under Josh Matlow.
Let's do it. David LeBlanc is in left. Jake Wilson is in center. Avery Tuck is in right. Best legs are in center with Jake Wilson. Really good aggressiveness in left, too, with LeBlanc, though. Left, right in the infield. It looks a little different today. Brampy Infante is at third. Marcel Lacoste moves over to shortstop. He's played third for most of this season. Jeff Cowan's in at second, and then Anderson at first. Behind the plate, Tyler Plumpton is catching Juan Benitez.
Austin Wilkie, the center fielder, batting second for the Majors. And Wilkie is bringing a .345 average through 17 games up to the plate here this evening.
Yeah, the first inning is going to be key. The top 3 in this batting order all have on-base averages over 400. After that, it thins out pretty quickly.
Wilkie, one of 5 Majors with at least 15 games of action this season, hitting above the 300 mark. And he's ahead in the count 1-0. That pitch is tight. 2 balls, no strikes to the center fielder. Majors coming off a doubleheader at home last night. They split 2 with the Kitchener Panthers. Chopped on the ground foul, and the count is 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, it's a nice smooth delivery from Juan Benitez. You'll see 3 pitches mainly. He's got 4 in his arsenal, but mostly it's the fastball slider change. He's going to use them all in pretty much any count early on, but it's going to be the fastball that's his takeaway pitch, especially at this top of the order.
2-1 pitch. Hit to short. 1 hopper, taken by Lacasse cleanly. The throw across. And 2 quick outs for Juan Benitez here on the top of the first inning.
Shortstop's the most premium position on the entire diamond. To see a guy like Marcel Lacoste move over there, it'll be interesting tonight because it's not as easy as it looks. Same side of the diamond, but a lot more range you have to have. He's mostly played third base, moving over to shortstop. It tests the depth to have guys moving over to the most premium position in the infield, but I think Lacoste is in good shape to handle it.
Well, we've seen some good versatility this season from the Baycat infielders. Branfi Infante, primarily a second baseman, at least out of the gate. He's at third tonight and has played at third for the last number of games, and he's looked right at home over there on the hot corner. This is catcher Byron Rickstein, number 22 for the Majors.
This might be their best hitter.
And a called strike as Benitez gets that one over 1-1. His average 400 through 19 games.
Big power as well. 3 homers, a slugging percentage of .657. Watch out.
17 strikeouts to go along with that 400 average.
So it's a really quite modern lineup that the Majors are rolling with. It's high on base at the top 2 slots, then it's big power, and then it goes from there.
Called strike 3, and that does it for London in the top of the first. A perfect start to the game for Juan Benitez and the Baycats. We go to the bottom of inning number 1, and we're scoreless here at Coates Stadium in Springwater. We go to the bottom of the first inning here at Coates Stadium in Springwater. We're scoreless. The first inning brought to you by the Cage Barrie, Barrie's only indoor public batting cage. And let's look at that Baycat starting lineup tonight. Jake Wilson, the leadoff man in center field. Jeff Cowan at second base, bats second. Ryan Rio DHing tonight at batting third. Marcel Lacasse cleanup at short. Avery Tuck in right field bats fifth. Batting sixth is David LeBlanc in left field. And the bottom of the order, Branfi Infante at third, James Anderson at first, and Tyler Plumpton is the catcher. And they will face left-hander Luke Kelly, 6'1", 210 pounds.
Yeah, 28-year-old lefty from Greensboro, North Carolina. He's a guy that I don't think most of these hitters will be super familiar with, so he's got a bit of that going for him early on. It might be tough first time around, so the second time around the batting order will be really important for the Baycats. Just you need to get a handle on that delivery first time around and see what's coming to you.
Just his second appearance of the season, and he has just one inning of work to his name. That was in a 16-6 win in Brantford on August the 18th.
Yeah, you can see their logic in bringing him in a game like that to introduce him to the league.
This one hit hard to right field. Back is Philman. He looks up. It is over the wall and gone. A leadoff home run for Jake Wilson, and a solo shot puts Barrie up early, 1-0.
What a job Jake Wilson has done all season long. They brought him in at the start, and they weren't sure where they were going to put him in the batting order, Ben. We saw him in the second spot, but that really didn't last super long. He got to the top of the order, and he's been productive all season long. He didn't seem very fooled by the new pitcher on the mound, did he?
Went up there with an aggressive approach, and yeah, not fooled by Kelly at all, as he got all of that one and hit it out near the scoreboard over the right field fence, and that brings the crowd to life here at Coates Stadium. As he's high and tight to Jeff Cowan, ball one.
But yeah, just to finish up my point, you can see the logic on why London would want to bring Kelly in. Introduce him to the league in a game that wasn't in question against the team at the bottom of the standings. There he's set, and now he gets a whole start, and they can see exactly what they've got in Lucas Kelly. A couple of strikeouts in that inning too, so it was a good one.
Baycats probably just happy that they didn't have to face De Los Santos. The 2.07 ERA, he was used in one of those two games in the doubleheader. He is the ace of the majors rotation.
Yeah, you wonder who they're going to set De Los Santos up against next in the rotation. It's a tough matchup, Barrie in Barrie, and they come back next weekend, so you might see De Los Santos there.
2-0 to Cowan. He thought it was inside, but caught the inside corner, says Jeff Rose. It's 2-1.
Keep an eye on that zone early. If you're getting the borderline call inside as a pitcher, you're going to go back in there a whole lot more.
Yeah. The wind to the 2-1 pitch.
Went right back.
Does not get it that time, and it's 3 balls and a strike.
Yeah, I suspect that one curved just a little bit farther in. You might, in the batter's box, just set up yourself across the plate a little bit differently, step just a tiny bit further away or closer.
Cowan hits this one to left field, and that will drop. 1 on, nobody out, and the Baycats leading 1-0.
Let's give you the defense for the London Majors. Left to right, Robert Doyle, Austin Wilkie, and Adam Philman. Robert Doyle also pitches, so you figure it's a pretty good arm in left. Left to right in the infield, Julian Johnson's at third. Chris McQueen, really good shortstop. Second base, Hayden Janko. And at first is Evan Britt. Behind the plate, Byron Rickstein for Luke Kelly. He has to avoid. The first two hitters both got a pitch right in the middle of the strike zone, right near the chest.
Rio's up first pitch swinging, and he skies this one to left. Robert Doyle over near the left field foul line makes the catch. Cowan stays put, and there's one away.
Right now, that's his put-away pitch, and it has been throughout all three of these batters. It's been a pitch with not a ton of deception, but he's trying to get it by them upstairs, but still in the strike zone. It's not going to work second time through.
Some shadows on the field now as the sun makes an appearance.
You almost wonder if he starts with the pitch in the middle and then he tries to creep it in a little bit more, take advantage of that big strike zone up near the chest, and then second time through you could almost bring it down and really transform that pitch.
Marcel Lacasse with the average below 300 now, 298 coming into tonight. 1 for 4 against Brantford, and he did drive in a run.
Lacasse missing some time now back. Having him in that order really extends the top of it. Nothing against Wilson, Cowan, Rio, but having Lacasse high on base average and a little bit of power in there too, it's a big extension at the top.
That one hits him, and he'll toss the bat to the dugout. Cowan moves up 90 feet, and there are 2 on with 1 out here. Baycats in business in the bottom of the first inning.
Right fielder number 28, Avery Tuck.
Tuck's still waiting for that breakout game with the Baycats. He had a pretty good day yesterday, scored a couple of runs, but he's hitting fifth. He's playing in an outfield that earlier in the season had no McGarry Doyle in it. And it's his time to shine. He just needs to find that big game. And I think the Baycats are really confident that he's going to have it soon.
Speaking of shining, the intensity of that sun really starting to pick up here in this bottom of the first inning. So we had cloud cover at the start of the game, and now just a little bit of gradual clearing to the west. So
So on a commercial break, if one of us has to go get hats, who's going to do it? Do we rock, paper, scissors for that? Or?
Good question. Kelly from the stretch checks the runner at second and now steps off. A little cat and mouse with Jeff Cowan dancing around.
Looking around, everybody with the hat set up right now, absolutely fine with the sun. Most people who don't have the hand up. It's getting more intense.
Fans on the third base side trying to keep an eye on the action here. That pitch misses. It's a ball and a strike. Tuck joining the team mid-season. It's his 7th game for the Baycats here tonight. 24 at-bats and an average of just 167, so he'd love to get things going here tonight in that big breakout game.
He's been getting on through the walk a little bit, too. His on-base percentage isn't quite as bad as his average. It's looking a little more promising, so you can see why he's still in the middle of the order.
1-1 is fouled off at home plate, and that might have caught a piece of the inside of his foot. He'll walk that off.
And I think in leagues like this, where hitters come in mid-season, a lot of people on management staffs tend to give players a little bit more rope. So you see an average of 167, not super impressive on the face of it, but he's still getting acclimated to the middle of this order. He's still learning his new team, and they clearly see his potential.
Cowan at second, Lacasse at first. Pitch is outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. As Lacasse battles back in the count here. Middle infield looking for the ground ball with 1 away. It's McQueen at short and Jacko at second. The pitch on the ground over the mound. Gloved by the shortstop, steps on the bag, over to first, and that's exactly what they turned. 6-3 double play, retires Lacasse and Tuck, and down go the Baycats in the bottom of the first inning. But they score a run on a solo shot by Jake Wilson, and through an inning, it's Barrie 1, London nothing.
For Barrie the first, 1 run and 2 hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base.
Trouble seeing the scoreboard or scorecard? Time to see Dr. Shell and his amazing team for all your eye care and eyewear needs. 225 Ferndale Drive. Go Baycats, go!
Fans! Oh, come on. Saturday, best ballpark in the Inter-County League. Make some noise. Coach Stadium! That's what I'm talking about. Rob Daniels, your in-game host here tonight. And we got tons of giveaways, like gift cards, some T-shirts to give away. Don't forget to get your ballpark food. We're going to have so much fun tonight, so stand by for some social media giveaways and more. Let's go Baycats, let's hear you!
Inning number 2 is sponsored by Kingdom Bounce, specializing in kid-friendly inflatable structures. Visit them at kingdombounce.com. Kingdom Bounce.
Time for the second inning. It's brought to you by Kingdom Bounce, specializing in kid-friendly inflatable structures. Visit them at kingdombounce.com. Juan Benitez of the Baycats out to an early 1-0 lead here at Coates Stadium. Ben Davy along with Patrick Melbourne tonight. Thanks for joining us on the broadcast here on Baycats TV, the official YouTube channel of the Barrie Baycats. Don't forget you can catch all the action here at Coates Stadium and online when we're here at home on the Baycats YouTube channel. Veteran DH Cleveland Brownlee. Ahead in the count 1-0 as that one just missed off the outside part of the plate. I've always said, and I remember Cleveland Brownlee from my first stint covering the IBL.
Yep.
Reminds me so much of Frank Thomas. Big man, number 35, that menacing figure at the plate. And
He's a guy you can't miss, too.
he's got that solid frame.
Not having his best season in the IBL, but can heat up at any time. And you can't miss to him.
Well, back in the day when he got a hold of him, he could give it a ride.
And I mean, I say he's not having his best season. His numbers are still pretty good, and he's got 4 home runs. So it's a challenge for Benitez.
I'm dating myself, but he holds that bat a lot like Dave Winfield as well. There's another old name for you.
Really good player, Dave Winfield. You wonder as the league shifts to a new generation of players.
If they know these guys?
Well, they'll know them, but what stances are they using as their base, right? Because you almost look at some of the successful examples of batting stances across baseball, and you pick what's closest to being natural to you. So if you see a stance that's pretty similar to a bigger name, it's an interesting comparison to make.
Brant Fianfonte with a nice spin throw to first for the first out of the inning. You know, when Winfield played for the Yankees, their road uniforms looked a lot like London's road uniform here tonight, too.
Yeah.
So
The Yankees don't change their uniforms that much.
yeah, I know. Even the Field of Dreams game, they had a little bit of a difference with the lettering, but
I saw it, and the first time I saw it, I was like, okay, Chicago's got these uniforms that are brand new and like old at the same time, and super cool, and the Yankees are just kind of wearing the Yankees uniforms.
Jaco fouls this over the screen out of play, 1-1.
As the crowds get bigger at Coates Stadium, and across the league, you'll look at the pitchers and how they react to bigger crowds. I think most pitchers will say, you know, I love the intensity of bigger crowds, but Juan Benitez, I mean, he's pitched all over the world. He's pitched across, he was in Japan throughout the NPB Farm League system, so he's gotten used to that atmosphere, but he's from the Dominican Republic and has played Winter League in Lidom, which is the big league there, and the crowds there are just incredible, right? So he's not going to be fazed by big crowds.
Well, not fazed by big crowds or warm weather either, as this one is hit on the ground to short. It bounces up, and the play is made. Anderson, nice job to stay with that. And 2 out of the inning. Benitez was telling me he played in Nicaragua for a stint as well, so I'm sure he's played in a lot of hot weather similar to today, and probably even more so.
I'm not as familiar with the weather in Japan when it comes to it, but I know I've watched a lot of the baseball in Taiwan, which is different, but it's really, really humid there. So I wonder how humid it is in Japan as well.
Adam Philman, the right fielder, with 2 out. Righty-righty matchup, and Benitez starts him off with a first pitch strike. So far, very efficient with his pitches and getting ahead in the count here as well. Fights that one off, and it's foul down the right field line. Giving chase is Tuck, but no chance on it. That is well out of play, and it's no balls and 2 strikes to Philman.
Big gap between the second base bag and where the second baseman's playing. It's mostly traditional, but up the middle, it'll be tough for Lucas to get over there.
One, Benitez steps off. So we'll make a couple of adjustments and look in to get the sign from Tyler Plumpton. He ended the first inning with a strikeout, and he gets a ground ball to short. Busy inning for Marcel Lacasse. Gets the throw over, that one a little closer, but in time. And Juan Benitez has faced the minimum through 2. We go to the bottom of the second inning with the Baycats on top, 1-0.
No hits, no errors, no runners left on base. Chances 5, Baycats strike out 5 or more opposing hitters in any home game this season. Each fan in the park will receive a coupon for a free taco, courtesy of Yo Tacos, located at 3 Clapperton Street in Barrie. We're sitting at 1. Rock 95 and the Barrie Baycats are giving one lucky kid the chance to be the honorary Rock 95 Junior Baycats for each home game this season. Kids ages 7 to 11 years old will have the chance to enter to win this exciting and unique experience. All they have to do to win is sign up online at rock95.com and listen to their favorite morning radio station when the Rock 95 morning crew draws a winner for every home game this season. The prize consists of 2 adult tickets to the game, a t-shirt, a team hat, complimentary hot dog, fries, and a pop, and the opportunity
To the bottom of the second inning here at Coast Stadium with Patrick Melbourne. I'm Ben Davy. And the Baycats on top 1-0. A run on 2 hits for Barrie so far. London 6 up, 6 down against Juan Benitez.
Yeah, he's definitely had his stuff.
The
So
left fielder, number 14.
it's time for Kelly to counter with that.
David LeBlanc steps up to the plate. And the first offering on the way from Luke Kelly. Outside, ball 1.
He was missing a lot on that side of the plate in his warm-up pitches too, and even in the first when he hit Marcel Lacoste. So if you're a right-handed hitter, you might want to take a couple of pitches at the start of the at-bat and see if he opens the count 2-0 or 1-0.
It's an interesting observation. He finds the plate on that one. 1 ball, 1 strike. LeBlanc with a .306 average. Drove in a run against Brantford last night, but was 0 for 4. Left-hander Luke Kelly with the 1-1 offering. And he missed. Able to pull the bat, hold the swing back was LeBlanc, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
LeBlanc's a guy that you can see moving around the batting order if he gets super hot up to the 2 spot, or even some managers like to use their hot hitters down at the bottom of the order and create almost a reverse leadoff situation. So he's a guy that could be moving around the batting order depending on how he's doing and what his trends are. Big aggressive approach on the base paths. Gets on base a fair amount. David LeBlanc's been a good pickup for Barrie.
Yeah, he's been a great addition to this 2021 Baycat squad. One of the many newcomers that's really made a solid contribution for Josh Matlow. Another one fouled off, this one over the screen and into the trees. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, hit the trees, cars should be fine. I remember a couple of weeks ago I was calling the game in Welland on Baycats radio, and LeBlanc got on first and he just did not want to stay there. He was dancing off the bag and eventually stole at least 1 base in that game. So if he gets on, he wants to steal bases as much as anybody on this team.
Steps out of the box. And he'll settle back in to face a 2-2 from Luke Kelly. Here it is. Oh, that one over his head and caught a piece on the way by. So second hit batter tonight by Luke Kelly.
Yeah,
LeBlanc gets a free base.
His command hasn't been 100%. In the first inning, it was a different kind of missing. It was missing right in the middle of the strike zone when you're trying to be a little bit more subtle and dance around it. Now he's missing outside, he's missing inside to the right-handed hitters too. He's just really kind of struggling to find his spots. It's something that's fixable though. All you have to do is take a couple of breaths and reset, trust yourself. It sounds like a really big cliche, and it kind of is, but pitchers resetting and trusting themselves, it does wonders.
Infante first pitch swinging and he fouls it off, strike 1.
You bet that when coaches go out to the mound to do that, that's what they're told a lot of the time. It's just, hey, you're on this team, enough with the imposter syndrome, enough with anything that's going on, you can pitch and you can hit your spots.
LeBlanc with a healthy lead, he does not go. Pitches outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. David LeBlanc is 3 for 3 in steal attempts this season. Evan Britt, the first baseman, holding him on here.
Yeah, keeping an eye on the lead, 2 or 3 steps now. He might be off.
From the belt, there he goes, and they got him picked off. The throw to the shortstop, the tag, he's in there! What a job by David LeBlanc. Didn't fool Luke Kelly, but by the time the first baseman, Britt, was able to get the throw to the shortstop, LeBlanc was in head first.
It's not something you can put down on paper, aggressiveness on the base paths, because it doesn't necessarily correlate with speed. There's no metric for it. But if you look at David LeBlanc, that's what he's been doing when he gets to first base. He takes a big lead, he's super aggressive, and I think London was caught napping a little bit there.
Well, what I noticed is that when LeBlanc realized that they had him nabbed, he didn't flinch at all.
No.
He just
Really
confidently kept going down to second base. And
great stuff.
a lot of guys, when they get hung up in that position, they second guess themselves and try to think about trying to get back one way or the other, and LeBlanc showed no hesitation at all.
Jake Wilson's got the best speed on this team, but in terms of base running ability, LeBlanc's right there.
It's a 2-1 count to Brantford Infante. And now stepping off is Kelly. Clearly, David LeBlanc is in his head.
he didn't need another distraction on the mound. The first at bat with LeBlanc, it feels like he's just in his own head.
2 balls and a strike to Infante. Here's Kelly with a look over. Inside corner for a called strike, 2-2.
Big pitch here, because if he gets Infante, his confidence raises just a little bit back up, and it should be far enough up to have a brand new approach to Anderson and Plumpton, who are coming up and are not having as strong a season at the plate as Infante. That comes down to LeBlanc staying active at second base and trying to distract him as much as he can, because clearly it's having an effect on the pitcher.
Infante calls time in the middle of the at-bat, and that's something LeBlanc did in his at-bat as well. And that could be throwing off Kelly's rhythm as well. Runner does not go, and it's a called strike. Couple of questionable calls to Branfy Infante. He has a word or two for home plate ump Jeff Rose as he heads back to the dugout. 2 straight pitches on that inside part of the plate, and Jeff Rose gave them to Luke Kelly, both of them.
It's been consistent, though. Inside part of the plate to right-handed hitters. It's been a strike all night, and as long as it continues, that's okay. You just have to adjust to it.
Sometimes those close calls will go one way and then the opposite way the next time to try to balance it out, but
you can't be doing that. It's all about consistency, and I think most of these umpires would realize that too.
short hop by the third baseman. The throw over to first is in time for the out there. So 2 down now for Kelly, and he'll face the number 9 hitter, Tyler Plumpton.
His strike zones, even though you have a baseline, it's a little bit on the subjective side when it comes to the sides of the plate. So as long as you establish early and both pitchers and hitters realize that, if you keep it the same way all through the game, you're fine. The crowd might not like it, but the players won't mind as much. If Branfy Infante comes in next time up and sees that pitch and it's the same thing, he's not going to be bothered by that. He'll reassess.
Joe West is one of the more unpopular home plate umpires in Major League Baseball, and he's been known to just give the pitcher a call if he's able to hit the catcher's glove, no matter where it is.
It's all about catcher framing, too.
A lot of players don't mind that, but most of them don't like it.
It's tough to see when you're in the crowd, especially behind the plate, and you don't see the catcher's glove, because the umpire has a really good view of where the ball smacks into that glove. And a talented framing catcher, I don't really know, if I'm honest, how Rickstein does with framing. It's tough to know with analytics, even in top leagues, but like the highest leagues in the world, you can't really quantify it. But the best framing catchers, they make an impact when it comes to those calls.
Back-to-back ground balls to Julian Johnston, and the Baycats go down without scoring in the bottom of the second. A 1-0 Barrie lead through 2 here at Coates Stadium.
Hey, what's going on, fans? Rob Daniels once again checking in from the broadcasting section of the stadium, and want to remind you that you can shop at our online shop, which is shopbaycats.com, for all your favorite merch and everything IBL Baycats.
Trying to find replacement springs for your classic car can be like finding a needle in a haystack. That's where Complete Spring can help. Complete Spring Service specializes in vehicle suspension and spring service for all makes and models. Visit Complete Spring right off the Dunlop exit on the 400 in Barrie.
go to the third inning. It's a 1-0 Baycat lead. Our third inning is brought to you by Kurt's Coolers Mobile Refrigerated Freezer Trailer Rentals. This game moving along at a nice early pace so far here at Coates Stadium. And Juan Benitez has faced the minimum 6 through 2 innings as he faces the bottom third of the order. Julian Johnston, Robert Doyle, and Evan Britt.
Johnson, oh, big
Deep
foul
but
ball
foul.
there. Johnson's got a good eye. He gets on base a little bit more than his average would suggest, so you have to be a little bit more careful with the borderline pitches because he might lay them off.
.230 average. He was 0 for 3 in their 4-3 loss to Kitchener. And he's behind in the count here. 1 ball, 2 strikes against Juan Benitez. Here's the pitch. Right field. Avery Tuck going back near the wall. Looks up and it's gone. Solo home run for Julian Johnston. And we're tied at 1.
Second home run of the year. He's a pretty solid hitter in the middle of that batting order.
And just like that, we're even Steven here at Coates Stadium. A couple of solo shots, one off the bat of Julian Johnston, one off the bat of Jake Wilson.
The humidity is going down here at Coates Stadium, so you wonder if pitches are going to start reacting differently. In high humidity weather, pitches just act really, really differently. The fastball looks a little bit different.
Bunted. Benitez mishandles it, gets the throw over, but it's way late. And Robert Doyle bunts for an infield single.
Difference there between a pitcher fielding that ball and the third baseman. There's no wrong way to field the ball itself, but the third baseman probably eats it rather than throwing it to first. You just don't want to throw it away.
Number 45,
But you avoid the trouble there, and now you can reset.
Well, you know, humidity's a funny thing. Usually you think the ball's going to travel a lot farther in drier air, i.e. Colorado and places where the humidity is a lot lower, but sometimes the ball can be really lively on a humid night like tonight.
Yeah, and off the pitcher's mound. I mentioned how fastballs will be a little bit different, but it's off speed and it's the movement of other pitches as well. Like, you don't see a lot of knuckleballs in the IBL, but the knuckleball in high humidity weather isn't viable. You can't really get that effect. So you transfer that to other pitches and you imagine a lot of differences there too.
So Doyle at first, Britt the number 9 hitter with an 0-1 count. A bunt attempt on his first offering. Throw over, and the ball gets away. And that's 90 free feet for Robert Doyle as Anderson is back to retrieve it. And Tyler Plumpton will go out to settle down Benitez. Man in scoring position now. Still nobody out here in this third inning.
Yeah, that's a scouting report thing. What he just told him.
Julian Johnston with a leadoff home run and then a single by Robert Doyle. He's at second now with nobody out here in the top of the third inning. Majors looking for their first lead of the night. Another bunt attempt. This one will be picked up by Infante. The throw over is in time for the out. But the Majors are able to successfully get Doyle up to third base. It's a little small ball here following the home run by Julian Johnston.
Now, are you pro small ball in situations like this, or are you anti-bunting?
Well, there's so many variables you got to look at. You got to look at the two teams that are playing, you know, and how the ball game has gone up until this point. You know what? It's a little early, I think, but in the game, but you never know. They may be feeling like they want to just scratch out a couple runs off Benitez early here.
I'm not sure there's a right answer. It just depends how much you value giving up the out for the extra spot in scoring position, right?
Yeah, it just depends on the situation. I guess what I'm trying to say is if you're the Maple Leafs playing at Christie Pitts, no. If you're London and you're facing a tough pitcher like Juan Benitez, maybe. Could be a low-scoring game here tonight.
Man, the evaluation of outs in a baseball game and how valuable they are could be a complete essay, couldn't it?
Yeah, no question. Chris McQueen, the shortstop. The leadoff hitter tonight for the Majors. London and Barrie tied at 1 here in the third. Here's the pitch for Benitez. Missed away, and it's 2 balls and no strikes, and now Benitez starting to fall behind. He had retired 6 straight before that home run to Johnston, and now with some trouble here in the third inning.
Second time McQueen seeing Benitez.
Going to call a strike, 3-1, as McQueen was taking all the way.
One of the more modern lines of thinking is that the second time through the batting order is probably the trickiest for a pitcher, because now the batter has a little bit more of a eye on what he's seeing.
McQueen hits this one to center field. Right at Jake Wilson, makes the catch. Here's the throw, runner tagging. This is Doyle. He's in head first, and it's a 2-1 London lead as they get their first lead of the night.
And the third time through the order, the momentum would shift back to the pitcher because he's seen the batter a couple of times then. So second time through is going to be tricky for Benitez, and it's about keeping the damage to a minimum. Right now he's back in good position. Base is clear. Can attack like he did in the first.
So the Majors manufacture a run the old school way after the long ball by Julian Johnston. A bunt single by Doyle. He gets to second on a botched pickoff attempt. Bunted to third and brought home on a sac fly. So the Majors in this situation happy to give up the 2 outs to get another run across and the lead in the game. One ball, 1 strike to Austin Wilkie, the center fielder. He's 0 for 1 tonight. High and inside, and it's 2-1. Baycats coming off a 7-6 loss in Brantford last night. Tonight, the start of a 4-game home stretch, and 5 out of 6 games here at Coates Stadium. 3 balls and a strike to Wilkie.
I would imagine that every single player in that dugout wants to have this homestand go super, super well. Heading into that final stretch of the season, all these games at home, it's a good recipe if you can pull it off.
Foul tip into the glove. The count is 3-2. Byron Rickstein, the catcher, is on deck, hopeful for an at-bat here in the top of the third inning. Juan Benitez with a full count. Swung on and missed. Second strikeout of the game for Benitez, but he surrenders the lead as the Majors get their first 2 of the night, and it's 2-1 London after 2.5 innings.
1 run and 2 hits, 1 Barrie error, 1 runner left on base. Sponsored by Kurt's Coolers, mobile refrigerated trailer rentals. Kurt's Coolers. Fans, please welcome 11-year-old Major McNeil to the booth. Major attends Pine River Elementary School in Angus. He plays in the Baycats under 11-18, and Major flat out loves baseball. Gotta love this guy. Major is the latest winner of our Rock 95 contest and is going to lead us to the Baycats' third inning. Welcome, Major.
Coach Stadium of Springwater, bottom of the third inning we go, and the Majors on top of the Baycats 2-1. Scoring 2 in the top half of the inning, and the Baycats looking to respond with the top of the order due up: Jake Wilson, Jeff Cowan, and Ryan Rio.
Barrie Baycats, right fielder number 15, Jake Wilson.
Wilson solo home run. In the bottom of the first inning, the lone marker for Barrie so far in this one. Hits this one to right field down the line, and it's foul.
Man, you knew he'd be eager with that first pitch, didn't you? The first at bat, the home run, and now against a pitcher that has had his trouble locating early on in this game. Jake Wilson was swinging at that pitch 20 minutes ago thinking about that at bat.
Luke Kelly has got through the first 2 innings allowing just 1 run, but showed a lack of command at times. He's hit 2 Baycats with pitched balls. And I took a look at the Majors bullpen coming into tonight. They are well rested. They got a 7-inning complete game in the back half of that doubleheader against Kitchener from Pedro de los Santos. Allowed 4 runs, but went the distance in that 7-inning game. And in the opener to the doubleheader, Dylan Brooks got the start. Didn't record an out. He allowed 3 runs, 2 earned. And Braden Farrington came on in relief and pitched the remaining 7 innings. 7 shutout innings for the Majors.
Almost reminds you of a Brad Grieveson outing earlier.
Yeah, it certainly does. This one is shallow right, and it's caught by a sprinting Adam Philman. Makes the catch, 1 down.
Baycats used 3 pitchers yesterday. Grieveson actually started that game, and then they used Grider and Hillier. So
you look at that 15-3 win that the Majors had over Kitchener in the opener of that doubleheader, and you know, when your starter Dylan Brooks gets yanked before recording it out, you're thinking, boy, it could be a long night from the bullpen. But the Majors really got a solid relief appearance from Braden Farrington, who basically recorded every out from that point on. Do you call that a complete game? I guess officially no, but he got the 21 outs. One and 0 the count to Cowan, and this one is hit on the ground to third. Julian Johnston. Plenty of time, 2 quick outs here.
Yep, just got on top of that one just a little bit more. He's getting a little bit more comfortable this inning. This is the guy who...
Now batting number 27, Ryan Rio.
This is the guy I'm watching right now. That first at bat, he swung at the first pitch and just got on top of one, popped it up to left field. It was a pitch he should have hit a lot farther, and he's going to be looking for it again here.
Holds the swing back. They check at third. Ryan Jackson says no. Ryan Rio, definitely one of the more feared hitters in the league.
Yeah, and it wasn't that pitch. That pitch was farther outside. He's looking for one. He's looking for a mistake in the middle of the plate, but he'll take one up in the zone as well.
Lefty-lefty matchup here. Rio's averaged .373 coming into tonight's game.
Yeah. Best eye on the team by a mile. Just really, really good stuff. He gets on base a lot. And I say best eye on the team by a mile. That's not criticizing anybody else. That's just Ryan Rio has an excellent batting eye.
And he's played in 17 of the Baycats' 22 games. No Baycat has played in all 22 games yet. Jeff Wilson has played in 21 of them, however.
Yeah, Wilson missed the first one because he wasn't with the team yet. Played a game in the 2 spot and has moved up to the 1 spot since then.
Rio ahead in the count here, 2-1. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Baycats trailing by a run. The pitch. Called strike, 2-2. Luke Kelly has retired 5 in a row after hitting David LeBlanc to open up the second inning, and down goes Rio. 3 up, 3 down for the Baycats for the first time tonight. Through 3, it's the Majors 2, the Baycats 1.
For Barrie in the third, no runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left on base.
Fans, how about a hand for Major? What a great job he did for us tonight. Thank you, Major.
Fourth inning here at Coates Stadium in Springwater. And it's the Majors 2, the Baycats 1. We were commenting off air about the junior Baycat announcer who did a fantastic job tonight. His name, Major McNeil. Good choice for tonight with the London Majors here in town. He picked a good game to come to. Always nice having those junior Baycats in the PA announcers booth.
It's the problem, though, when your name is Major, because if you're cheering for the Baycats, it's tough because you've got to be cheering for both teams a little bit.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, he's going to win tonight no matter what, right?
Yeah.
That's one way to look at it.
Either my team won or
I
my
won.
name won. Great stuff.
Sky to center field. Wilson will come over. It'll be the left fielder, though, David LeBlanc. And one down here in the fourth inning. Cleveland Brownlee, the DH, will bat now. He's 0 for 1 tonight.
The designated hitter number 35, Cleveland Brownlee.
Definitely getting cooler at Coates Stadium. So these pitches, if they were emerging differently before, they're going to be emerging way more differently now.
Swing and a miss, strike one.
A lot more bite to that last one. We didn't see that. As dominant as Benitez was in the first couple innings, we did not see that real bite to the pitches like that. So if he's going to get that going, it's going to be a really good time for Juan Benitez.
Just had a quick chat with our in-game host here, Rob Daniels, who's a little closer to my age than yours, and he agreed with me about Cleveland Brownlee being Frank Thomas's doppelganger. Swings and misses, goes down. 2 outs for Juan Benitez here in the fourth.
Until you see their heights side by side. Frank Thomas is very, very tall.
Well, Big Frank was very patient at the plate, too. He wouldn't have been swinging at least 2 of those pitches, but
he's on a panel now with David Ortiz, and he makes David Ortiz seem small. I'm not sure how that's possible.
Yeah, that's not easy to do when you're bigger than Big Papi. This one to right center. Wilson and Tuck converge. It's Tuck taking it for the out. And the Majors go 3 up, 3 down for the third time tonight. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Very entertaining ball game here at Coates Stadium. It's the Majors 2 and the Baycats 1.
Hey, Baycats fans, it's Rob Daniels once again checking in, this time from behind home plate here at Coates Stadium. And the Baycats, before they take the field to bat to the bottom of the fourth, we have a giveaway we'd like to interest you in. $50 gift card to the Baycats shop plus a t-shirt up for grabs. What we ask for you to do is take Baycats Stadium photos tonight, okay? And video for Instagram stories. So photos of your favorite baseball players tonight. Cool stadium shots of Coates Stadium because, of course, this is, after all, the best stadium in the IBL. And when you do upload these photos to Instagram stories, tag us at Barrie Baycats. Use the hashtag Baycats as well for your chance to win. We'll have a winner announcement. That'll be in the top of the 6th inning tonight, okay? So get Instagramming tonight. Get social with us at Barrie Baycats, and good luck.
We have some fans with us tonight celebrating birthdays. The Baycats would like to wish a happy 38th birthday to Ryan. Happy birthday, Ryan, from the Barrie Baycats. Number 4 is sponsored by the Cage Berry. There is only indoor public batting cages. The Cage Berry. Up the fourth for the Baycats. Shortstop number 13, Marcel Lecap.
Bottom of the fourth, and it's the Majors 2, the Baycats 1. Marcel Lacasse, Avery Tuck, and David LeBlanc. Part of the order for Josh Matlow here, 4, 5, and 6.
Big thing here right now for Marcel Lacasse is to just stay locked in like that. Even though
Hayden Jaco makes the throw over in time for the out.
Even though that wasn't the result he would have wanted there, after getting hit the first time up, he just got a better look at what he's getting from the man on the mound.
Fourth inning is brought to you by The Cage, Barrie's only indoor public batting cage.
Number 28, Avery Tuck.
Avery Tuck grounded out to end the first. First pitch swinging, and he fouls it off. 3 runs in this ball game, 2 via the long ball, home runs by Julian Johnston for the Majors and Jake Wilson for the Baycats, and a manufactured run that started with a bunt off the bat of Robert Doyle, and that run is the margin of difference at this juncture. This one hit on the ground and through up the middle. It's a base hit for Tuck.
I think they were playing that same defensive shift for Tuck last time too, with the big hole across second base and the actual second baseman where he was positioned. Last time he hit it right into the shift, if I remember correctly. That was perfect. Hit it right where the fielders were.
Yeah, there was a lot of room on that right side of the second base bag, and Tuck found it nicely, so some good placement there.
Yeah, first time up, Tuck saw the shift and couldn't do anything with it. There, he made a really good adjustment.
So Tuck at first, 1 out, bottom of the fourth. Here's the pitch from Kelly. Missed, 1 ball and no strikes. Avery Tuck is 2 for 2 in steal attempts this season. Kelly checks on the runner.
Yeah, they're concerned about that base runner. They're in traditional double play depth defensively. They really want to maximize that defensively right now.
This one fouled off right side, and the count is 1-1.
They have to be really quick in the middle infield, because if they get a slow hopper on the ground, I think LeBlanc might have a decent chance of beating that out.
I don't have time to edit it. Okay, I'll just throw it out. Just throw it out. Yeah. I used to have a happy anniversary, which was the Flintstones happy anniversary thing.
In the second inning, David LeBlanc nearly got picked off by Luke Kelly, but was able to get to second base before they could get the throw and the tag on him. Let's see if Tuck has something similar in mind here as he goes. There's the pitch, and it's fouled off. The hit and run was on. And Tuck will head back.
Yeah, that would have required perfect placement offensively to get that hit and run done, because it wasn't a particularly great jump. So I wouldn't put money that they're doing that strategy again. Let me put it that way.
2 strikes on LeBlanc here. Third baseman Branfi Infante is on deck.
He wants to distract that pitcher. Good strategy.
Tuck does not go, and the ball is fouled off over the trees into the parking lot. Count holds 1-2.
It's a good strategy because of how easily we saw him get a little bit uncomfortable on the mound. Kelly really did not react well to big pressure in the first couple of innings. So if you can just distract him, even if you don't think about going for real, if you can distract him off the corner of his eye, it'll result in pitches maybe missing their location where they wouldn't have before.
Tuck does not go. 1-2 high over the glove and to the backstop.
Go.
And that may have been an example of exactly what you were talking about, Patrick.
I think if he had wanted to, he might have been able to even get another base there. Safe not going for it. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but the ball hung back there a little bit longer than you would expect. If he had gone 100% through second and into third, he might have been able to do that. And even if you didn't do it, you got there safe, that's number one, and now you can analyze, if that happens again, how the ball might happen off the fence back there.
Takes away the double play possibility too, so let's see how that may play into this. That pitch is high, and the count is now full, 3-2 to David LeBlanc.
Yeah, and Hayden Jacko at second base. He's playing more toward the base right now as he was in double play depth, but the second the ball left the pitcher's hand, he started running to more traditional second base territory. So he wants to keep all defensive options open. There's a gap, Ben, in between left center field. The center fielder's playing more right.
Ball 4. First walk for the Baycats tonight. 2 on, 1 out. Here comes Brantford Infante.
The third baseman, number 8, Brantford Infante.
So in his first at-bat, Brantford Infante struck out looking in a call that Coach Stadium's crowd did not agree with. Right now, if you're Brantford Infante, you take at least one pitch in this at-bat that looks like it's in a similar spot, assess that the strike zone is the same as before, and then roll from there.
First offering misses, ball 1. Infante, one of 2 strikeout victims to fall to Luke Kelly tonight.
He won't have that information yet. That pitch was high. He'll be hyper aware of that strikeout pitch because that was the put away pitch last time. And he'll get away with it again. As long as he's got a strike to work with. Yeah.
Kelly delivers, and it's a high pop-up. Should be playable. First baseman Britt is over near the Barrie dugout, makes the catch. Big out there for Luke Kelly as there's 2 away now.
Yeah, that trailed up over the plate more. Center up in the plate. That was more like the pitches we saw that were hit hard in the first inning. But he's gone away from that, so it's not as predictable as it once was.
James Anderson comes to the plate. He's 0 for 1 tonight.
You just got to hammer the plate now with strikes. Strike after strike after strike. Have a ton of confidence. That one didn't miss by much. Anderson's a talented hitter, but he hasn't put it all together recently. So if you're going to go after any member of this Baycats lineup, it has to be right now. And then you reassess, okay, I can do this, get the confidence up. Batting order turns over after Plumpton, who's on deck. And then you're in decent shape to continue deeper into this game.
Anderson hits this one to left, and that'll get through as it drops past a diving Robert Doyle. In to score is Tuck, rounding third comes LeBlanc. The throw is cut off, and the Baycats are now back on top. 3-2 Barrie as James Anderson brings in 2 on a double.
A massive hit on so many levels. First off, James Anderson, who really has been looking for that breakout hit for quite a while, just got it. Really good stuff from Anderson, but also on the mound, you've now avoided that situation I was talking about. The confidence isn't going back up. The throwing strikes resulted in hard contacts. You're in a good spot right now if you're Barrie, and you're turning over the batting order to the top of the order in just a moment. If Tyler Plumpton can have a good at-bat right here, you might be able to get in a situation where Luke Kelly might not be able to get into this game as deep as he wants to.
Well, I thought Kelly was pretty lucky to get through the first 2 innings, allowing just 1 run. He did allow just 2 hits, but the Baycats with good scoring opportunities in both of those innings.
Yeah, he calmed down just a bit more, found his control, and now whenever the pressure goes against him, he doesn't quite have as pinpoint control as he wants to.
Well, he got the Baycats 3 up, 3 down in the third, but now the momentum shifting back Barrie's way with a pair of runs here in the bottom of the 4th. Third lead change in this ball game already. That was fouled back. Count is 0-2 to the number 9 hitter Tyler Plumpton.
Okay, so Anderson's on second now, and you can see it in the back of the TV screen right now, right at the top of your screen. Anderson standing right there on the base. Earlier in this game, Baycats runners were having a field day with getting Kelly distracted at second base. Just watch the lead he takes and see if he tries to just fake a move to third, even if he doesn't actually plan on doing it.
This one hit hard, but sharply foul. And the count holds at 0-2.
And just monitor that through the rest of Kelly's starts, which Baycats base runners are taking advantage of that. Because the more Kelly's looking back and the bigger leads he sees, that's another thing on his mind, and that's when he's been at his lowest today.
Definitely been a key storyline so far in the first half of this ball game has been the Baycats' ability to distract the London pitcher. got Plumpton 0-2. Shakes off one side, now he steps off the mound.
Plumpton, another guy. The stats don't jump off the page right now, but just a ton of hitting talent.
Baycats looking to add to a 3-2 lead here in the bottom of the fourth. Kelly with a check over his left shoulder. The pitch on the ground, foul. Oh. Took a couple of sharp bounces and ended up in the London dugout. Looks like everyone's okay.
Yep.
And another 0-2 on the way to Tyler Plumpton. Anderson is second. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 out.
Long hold here. And now
Now
he steps off.
Plumpton out of the box, 1 foot out of the box.
Yeah, usually when the pitcher waits that long, he's either going to step off or throw a ball. So.
Here's the 0-2. With defensive swing, it's a roller to third. Throw over is in time for the out. And that will do it for the Baycats in the bottom of the fourth. But they regain the lead. It's 3-2 Barrie after 4. You're watching Baycats TV.
For Barrie in fourth, 2 runs and 2 hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base. We have some folks with us tonight celebrating anniversaries in the next couple of days. Happy 49th anniversary to Baycats Vice President Paul Marley and his wife Kathy. And happy 52nd anniversary to President David Mills and his wife Gail. Happy anniversary, folks.
Hey fans, Rob Daniels checking in from the merch tent here tonight, and we're with Mitch, who has got quite the amazing tent full of Barrie Baycats extravaganza here. We're talking like ball caps, t-shirts, throwback Thursday attire. Come visit Mitch at the tent and get your hookup for Barrie Baycats swag. Tickets for games, by the way, can be found at SeatGiantEvents.ca.
Juan Benitez and the Barrie Baycats back on top, 3-2 as we head to the top of the 5th inning. Patrick Melbourne, I'm Ben Davy. Nice night here at the ballpark and pretty exciting game so far.
It is absolutely perfect weather-wise, isn't it? A little bit of sun, a little bit of humidity earlier on, but it's really calmed down. The sun's gone down. It's how you picture it now.
3 lead changes in the game so far. Baycats were up 1-0 before London took the lead. First pitch fly ball off the bat of Adam Pillman, and there's 1 out here in the 5th.
The third baseman, number 8, Julian Johnson.
Third of 5 regular season matchups for the Majors and the Baycats. London with a doubleheader win at home on July 25th. They beat Barrie 5-2 and 2-1. So the Baycats looking for their first win over the Majors this season.
Julian Johnson's standing in. He took advantage of a big mistake from Juan Benitez last time up.
Solo home run to lead off the 3rd. Tied the game at that point. Majors have lost 6 of 20 so far, so a 14-6 record, 2/3 of the way exactly through the schedule. 4 teams have wins against London so far: Toronto, Hamilton, Welland, and Kitchener. Hamilton has beaten the Majors twice. Welland has beaten the Majors twice as well. And the one thing I did notice of those 6 losses, Patrick, were 3 of them were 1-run games. The only 2 lopsided scores were a 10-6 loss to Welland and a 14-2 loss to Hamilton.
Yeah, the one-run games almost are more frustrating to look back on if you're on that team. Because it means it was right there, right? If it's a big loss, then at least you can put that in the rearview mirror, bad day, move on. But if it's a one-run game, you think about it in your mind, it's like, oh, I had this opportunity and it just slipped away, and it slipped away from all of us. But it's not how you, it's all about how you move on from those games. London's done a good job of that so far.
Face on balls to Johnston, so he's aboard with 1 out, and it brings Robert Doyle to the plate. Well, when you've lost 6 games in the season and 3 of those 6 have been by 1 run, you got to be feeling pretty good about your ball club.
Yeah, it's a really talented team that they've got this year in London. Anybody who faces them in the later part of the season or in the playoffs, they have a tough job.
Johnston with the lead at first. Pitch from Benitez on the ground, right back to him. Makes the throw to the shortstop. It's low, but in time. The relay to first is not in time. So they get the force out at second, 1-6. And Doyle is aboard on the fielder's choice.
Ground balls that go right through the center right there are going to be a little bit tougher to field and do it really quickly. If they go right to you at shortstop or second base, then you can just flip it to the other one. But there, both fielders kind of have it in their mind that they might need to get it, and by the time you get that, you step on the bag, you just get that runner. If you've got a fast runner out of the batter's box, there are more factors to think about from a ground ball right through the middle.
That was a bit of a low throw by Benitez as well, so that made it particularly tricky for Lacasse.
His throws have not been on point to first base tonight. If I was a London runner, I'd challenge big leads, stolen bases, just see what you can get.
Yeah, he made the 1 bad throw earlier, and that actually contributed to the second run for London at the time.
Yeah, there haven't been many weaknesses with Benitez tonight, but that's been one of them.
And that was Doyle, who was on base at the time. There he goes. Here's the throw, the tag, and he is out. And that will get the Majors off the field. And we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Baycats lead still intact. It's Barrie 3, London 2. You're watching Baycats TV.
London in the 5th. No runs and no hits, no errors, no runners left on base. Inning number 5 is sponsored by SeatGiant.ca, the official ticket marketplace of your Barrie Baycats. Get all your major event tickets within North America and Canadian funds. SeatGiant.ca. This next home game for the Baycats will be Tuesday, August 24th, a 7:30 p.m. start when the Toronto Maple Leafs battle your Barrie Baycats in a rescheduled game from July 8th. Get your tickets at barriebaycats.com and avoid the lineup. Tuesday, August 24th, 7:30 versus Toronto.
Baycats come to bat in the bottom of the 5th inning, leading by a score of 3-2. I'm Ben Davy with Patrick Melbourne. Fifth inning is brought to you by Seat Giant, the official ticket marketplace of the Barrie Baycats. Get all of your major event tickets within North America in Canadian funds. Back to the top of the order. Jake Wilson, Jeff Cowan, Ryan Rio all due up for Barrie here in the fifth inning, and Wilson's been up there first pitch swinging his first two.
Yeah, feels like Jake Wilson has been up a lot tonight. The Baycats managed to get through the order and do some damage while keeping it pretty quick there.
Takes a pitch for a called strike, so Wilson says, last time I do that.
Yeah, he got it out of his system after the first
There we
couple
go.
times.
No more of those. Up the middle, shortstop, throw over, and it's in time for the out. Good running by Wilson, who had the afterburners on. Chris McQueen gets the throw over in time, one away.
Yeah, you have to, because it goes back to my last point there about ground balls right up the middle. It takes a little bit longer. Not only is there more distance, but there's different fielders going for it. You have to be 100% out of the batter's box. Even if it doesn't work out, it might next time.
Veteran Jeff Cowan, second baseman, 1 for 2 tonight. Comes to bat here in the bottom of the fifth inning.
It was so great covering that 400 hit moment for Jeff Cowan earlier this season. He's been on fire all year.
Over the mound, gloved quickly by McQueen, and he has no play. Actually, that one got by McQueen, went into center field.
Sure acted like he got it, didn't he?
Had me fooled.
Yeah.
And Cowan's aboard with a hit.
The designated hitter number 27, Ryan Rio.
Well, Cowan was stuck on 399 for a while, and then when he got that 400th hit, he followed that up with, I think, 3 or 4 hits
it
right
was a
consecutively
huge game.
right after that.
Everybody was just so happy for him. Heard him talk after the game and listened to Ryan Rio and Josh Matlow talking about it. It was a great moment all around.
Call strike to Rio. 1 away, 1 on here in the fifth inning. Well, he's a fan favorite here in Barrie, and him and Brad Grieveson, I guess the 2 longest serving members of the Baycats this season. Significant turnover on this ball club coming off the 2019 championship. Rio hits that a mile high. Stays in play in foul territory, and over for the catch is Johnston.
And it takes time to reestablish a club after so many players leave and different ones come in, but they've built a really good base. Jake Wilson at the top with Ryan Rio, Marcel Lacoste, Noel McGarry Doyle when he was here was fantastic, and he might return at some point in the future. They're building something really good here. David LeBlanc too. The names just keep going of potential, and we're seeing it sometimes. Other nights, it's not quite as strong on a night-to-night basis, but that's what happens when you rebuild.
Well, a lot of guys have come and gone, even just so far this season, and that's made it especially challenging. You just try to get a consistent lineup out there, night in and night out, but so many changes, these players have had to adapt.
Yeah. And Josh Matlow likes those front-loaded batting orders with a lot of the best hitters at the top. Wilson has become their everyday leadoff hitter. McGarry Doyle was in the 2 spot. Now that he's gone for a bit, we're seeing a little bit of Avery Tuck up there. We're seeing David LeBlanc back up there a little bit. Tonight it's Jeff Cowan. So that one's going back to experimenting a little bit more. But then you've got Rio and Lacoste, 3 and 4, really, really strong now that Lacoste is back from injury.
It's a nice little cluster of kids over near the Baycat on deck circle, and they were having some words with Avery Tuck.
If a foul ball gets popped up over by the trees there's about to be a big race.
Oh, they'll scatter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, those balls are just like a magnet for the kids.
Oh, yeah.
You want to get them all in one place, that's how you do it. Here's the pitch. Runner does not go. Count is 3-0 here to Marcel Lacasse with 1 on and 2 out.
It's interesting. You'd think the majors would be shading defensively differently based on who's at the plate, but we've only seen a big defensive shift against Avery Tuck.
Ball 4. Second base on balls tonight issued by Luke Kelly. 2 on, 2 out now for Avery Tuck.
The right fielder, number 28, Avery Tuck.
And they won't be able to do that shift that they were doing the first couple of bats because now they're in double play situation or similar. They don't need the double play, but they'll still play in the formation to get the force out. So the second baseman's going to be closer to the bag than he was the last couple of times.
Our first look at London here at home this season, but they certainly don't appear to be much of a defensive shifting team.
No.
This one hits a right field and it'll drop. Rounding third is Cowan, and that goes all the way to the wall. Cowan will score. Right behind him is Marcel Lacasse. 2 RBIs on a triple for Avery Tuck, and the Baycats with a 3-run lead.
There's your moment, Avery Tuck. We were talking at the start of the game how he has had a few different moments, but he hasn't really had that big game. Right now, this qualifies the big game. Baycats up 5-2 now. What a moment right there. Huge triple, and everybody at Coach Stadium with the clapping.
The left fielder, number 14, David LeBlanc.
6 or 5.
So here goes David LeBlanc now with a runner at third and 2 away.
If Tuck scores here, he'll have scored 4 runs in the last 2 games.
On the ground, foul, left side. Well, for Tuck, it's his first triple with the Barrie Baycats this season, and we talked about it. Look, guy looking for a big moment. There it was.
Yeah.
Driving in 2 with a triple, and James Anderson, the other guy with a big moment tonight, too. And if you were to pick one guy in the lineup who probably really needed a night like tonight, it's Anderson. He drove in 2 with a double in the 4th. This one hits straightaway center. Wilkie with a couple of steps over. Makes the catch, and that does it. But the Baycats scoring another pair of runs, extend their lead to 3. It's 5-2 Barrie through 5 here at Coates Stadium.
For Barrie in fifth, 2 runs with 2 hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base. Inning number 6 is brought to you by Starting Lineup Uniforms and Apparel, the official jersey of the Barrie Baycats. Your season starts here. Starting Lineup Uniform and Apparel.
Hey fans, we're down the third baseline tonight, and we have a special guest by the name of All right, Nicholas. Trivia now for a chance to win a t-shirt, a Baycats t-shirt from the merch shop. Which Baycat has played the most games in franchise history? Is it A, Matt Proctor, B, Ryan Davis, or C, Ryan Spatero? Congratulations! There you go! Nicely done. Yes, Ryan Spatero is first in many of the Baycats' all-time statistics. Congratulations.
Time for the 6th inning. It's brought to you by Starting Lineup Uniforms and Apparel, the official jersey provider of the Barrie Baycats. Your season starts here.
First baseman number 45, Evan Britt.
Evan Britt, the number 9 hitter, will face Baycat starter Juan Benitez, who has been very efficient with his pitches so far tonight. Really has just had 2 base runners. He gave up the home run to Julian Johnston to lead off the 3rd. As this one is hit high and deep, and it's caught by David LeBlanc back near the warning track. Evan Britt gave it a ride, but it stayed in.
LeBlanc's played some left, he's played some right, he's played really well defensively.
Shortstop number 6, Chris McQueen.
So 2 hits for the Majors tonight. The home run by Julian Johnston to get the Majors on the board, and then the bunt by Robert Doyle, which came in to score. They got a walk-off Benitez in the 5th, but that was erased on a fielder's choice, and then a caught stealing ended the 5th inning. So Benitez has not had much in the way of base runners to worry about tonight.
Yeah, and third time through the order, it should get a little bit easier for Benitez now because the batters have seen him a couple times, but now he's seen the batters a couple of times and has decent information on every single one of them.
So first and in time for the out.
That's something you might not see in the first inning from Chris McQueen and Juan Benitez because he attacked him right there on a pitch that it's tough to describe because it was a hit off the bat in a way that wasn't super hard or even well hit, but it was sharp. And I think Benitez had a sense that it would generate weak contact, and he would not have had that information the first inning, the first time he had faced McQueen. So we're seeing it play into effect even from the first batter the third time around.
Through 5 2/3 innings, Juan Benitez has thrown just 61 pitches. 38 strikes, 23 walks, or balls, excuse me.
38 walks would be a lot.
38, what did I say? 30? Let me try this again.
You said 38 walks.
61.
Which, I think the score would be a little different.
The pitch count has gone up again since that, so I got to do the math in my head again here. We're at 62 pitches.
39 walks?
Sorry, 63 pitches, 40 strikes, 23 balls. Did I say it right that time?
Yeah, you got there in the end.
This is why I should probably be drinking more coffee than I do before the ball game. 2 outs to Austin Wilkie, the center fielder. To short. Lacasse. Throw over, bounces up to the bag, and it's gloved by Anderson. He hangs on. So Wilkie retired, 6-3. Majors go 3 up, 3 down again. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Barrie up 5-2 here at Coates Stadium.
We're on in the 6th. No runs with no hits, no errors, no runners left on base.
Fans, don't forget, we still have our social media contest going on. Your chance to win a $50 gift card to the Baycats shop at shopbaycats.com, plus a vintage Baycats t-shirt or Cats t-shirt of your choice. What you have to do is upload a photo of the stadium tonight or any baseball player, your favorite one tonight, and upload it to Instagram stories. And you tag at Barrie Baycats, use the hashtag Baycats for your chance to win. We were supposed to have a winner in the 6th inning. We still need to find our winner. So you still have an opportunity to win. Get on Instagram and get social with us.
Barrie leading the first place London Majors by a score of 5-3. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Bottom of the order, Brandt Infante, James Anderson, and Tyler Plumpton all due up for the Baycats. And the Baycats added to their 3-2 lead in that bottom of the 5th with a pair of runs.
For the Baycats, the third baseman, number 8, Barrie Infante.
And they'll try to tack on some more here with the bottom third of the order coming up.
Are you surprised Luke Kelly's still in the game?
Yeah, to be honest with you. And, London's bullpen is fairly well rested, as we pointed out earlier in the ball game. So there are arms there, but they're going to try to get as much out of Kelly as they can.
He's got to keep doing that. Beautiful pitch right in the middle of the zone.
First pitch strike to Infante.
That was the one I was suggesting earlier, but James Anderson got a handle on it and was expecting it.
That's the 75th pitch of the night for Kelly.
Perfect. If you are in that London Majors dugout right now and you're a pitching coach or a manager, that's exactly what you want from your guy on the mound. You want him to attack the strike zone, avoid getting the pitch count up, and generate weak
First base
contact.
number 34, James Anderson.
Especially against that bottom of the order, which is what I suggested last time, except, you know, if you're sitting fastball, that's the one opening to the hitter. You need to mix up all of your pitches.
Anderson drove in 2 with an RBI double in the 4th inning, a big hit in the ball game at that juncture, as it brought home Avery Tuck and David LeBlanc and gave Barrie back their lead. They led early and then trailed and then had a 3-2 lead after that double by Anderson.
Anderson's been seeing the ball well tonight. Don't be surprised to see either the cap go up or him get a nice handle on a pitch in the zone.
Anderson Barrie, born and bred, lived in the U.S. for about 7 years and played ball in Arkansas, Harding University. Former Ivy Leaf as well.
Yeah, I feel like they've got a couple of players who play for the Ivy Leafs.
And he's ahead in the count 3-0 here.
Sometimes players come to the IBL on recommendations from players who are already here. We've seen that a couple of times this year from the Baycats, where a player on the team recruits another player and they both end up being really good fits.
Mentioned earlier in the season that I talked to Anderson, and he mentioned that he plans to open a chiropractic clinic here in Barrie in the next couple of months with a gym and a rehab area, and that could be helpful for some of the teammates here as well.
100%.
Doesn't have to look far for clients.
Got to be careful how you ask, though.
Yeah, don't want business to get in the way of friendship. I'm sure that wouldn't be the case, but full count here.
Amazing hit yesterday, but I noticed your back's out.
Yeah. So nice job by Kelly, who fell behind 3-0. Here's the payoff pitch. High, shallow fly ball. Adam Philman, drifting near the line, makes the catch, and there's 2 down.
He's actually way more effective later in this ballgame than he was earlier, because he is being a lot more confident. I think it's all about confidence with Kelly, because when he was getting a little bit more rattled early and losing focus and lower confidence, he was really struggling. But now, it's almost like we're watching him in his first inning of work.
Well, when he's been stringing together the outs, it's been without base runners on.
Yep.
And when the Baycats have been able to get to him, that's where he's unraveled. It may sound like an obvious statement, but some pitchers just throw a lot better when there's nobody on, and they can just get into that groove.
I'm thinking of one pitcher, and he's probably too obscure to name here, but I've watched him, and he just gets so overwhelmed when there's runners on base. And when the bases are clear, it's smooth sailing.
Shallow right, Philman trots in and makes the catch. Down go the Barrie Baycats, 3 up, 3 down in the 6th. We go to the top of the 7th. Barrie up by 3. You're watching Baycats TV.
For Barrie in the 6th, no runs with no hit, no errors, no runners left on base. Number 7 is brought to you by Vintage Throne Barber Lounge. Experience the position of quality service in a relaxed environment. Redefining gentlemen in the heart of Barrie. Vintage Throne Barber Lounge.
Seventh inning is brought to you by Vintage Throne Barber Lounge. Experience the tradition of quality service in a relaxed environment. Redefining gentlemen in the heart of Barrie. Patrick Melbourne, I'm Ben Davy, and it's a 5-2 Barrie lead here in the 7th against the first place London Majors. A 14-6 record coming into tonight. Barrie 0-2 against London, looking for their first victory of the season.
This is the big moment for Benitez right now. 7th inning, mentioned at the top. It has been his last inning in his longest starts this season. They wanted 7 tonight. It looks pretty good so far. And the way he's going, he might even get into the 8th, which would be huge for this Baycats team.
On the ground to second, Cowan bobbles it and is unable to make the play. An uncharacteristic error at second for Jeff Cowan. Well, the 6 innings heading into the 7th has gone about as well as you possibly could have asked. If you're the Barrie Baycats, London with just 2 hits off Juan Benitez.
Yeah, Benitez been described as their ace for good reason, and tonight we're seeing another reason why. Just reliable. Might be a couple of runs, but usually 2 or 3 is the max, and he'll give you length.
So let's see if the Majors can capitalize here. As Rickstein reaches base on the error to Jeff Cowan. And Cleveland Brownlee, the DH now, who's 0 for 2 tonight.
Remember how I mentioned people rushing for those, the kids rushing for the foul balls?
Don't even have to look over there. You can hear them. You can hear those footsteps. And the count is 1-1 to Brownlee, the DH.
The sounds of the race not quite as big as a Formula One engine, but getting there.
Rickstein draws a throw. He's 2 for 3 in stolen base attempts this season.
Late in the game is where pitches, if you're not careful, have a tendency to get a little bit flatter. And that's where power hitters like Brownlee, ooh, that one wasn't flat, was it?
He's been chasing that outside pitch all night.
Yeah, keep going for that. Brownlee and power hitters like that can burn you if you leave that mistake pitch in there. Benitez had a couple of them earlier, and you can get back into that later in the game if you're not careful. But he seems to know how to pitch Brownlee pretty well.
16 strikeouts, second most on the Majors, and there's strike 3 looking. Brownlee looked like he was just completely guessing that at bat.
Yeah, he has been all night, and it's been a really, really good thing for Juan Benitez, because if you can shut down Cleveland Brownlee, then that lineup gets a lot thinner.
So here comes Jaco, who's 0 for 2 tonight. Benitez from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Off speed to start that at bat for Jaco.
Both these pitchers are getting better as they stay in. Like, Benitez looked really good at the start, but then he started looking like, okay, this would be another 6-7 inning really solid start, but he would trail off toward the end of it. He's looking as strong as he did in the first again.
Fans were hoping for that call, but it's off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, he's been pretty consistent. Big zone inside, smaller zone outside. I have no issues with the strike zone tonight.
Rickstein at first, 1 away, top of the 7th inning. Pitch from Benitez. Check swing, and he goes.
Yeah, he went.
Didn't even appeal, and that has Jaco a little bit upset.
He went. Sometimes as a batter, you don't necessarily realize how much you actually check swing. But
Yeah, very true.
He went pretty solidly over that one. Good call.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here's the pitch from Benitez. Check swing foul. And it'll be another 1-2 to Hayden Jaco, the second baseman. I find it amazing that the Majors have not stranded a runner tonight. We're here on the top of the 7th inning. I'd be very interested in knowing when the last time they got this deep into a ball game without
They can
stranding
do
a
it
runner.
now. They can do it now. We'll see.
Or Benitez might get the ground ball and get out of here. Here's a roller, and it's through into left field. They're going to send Rickstein to third. And into second goes Jaco.
Really good base running right there. It wasn't particularly deep, and it was on the ground, so you would think long single, but got to second pretty safely.
That ball perfectly placed right down the third base line. So Rickstein to third, Jaco to second. And here's the opportunity the Majors have been looking for. 2 in scoring position with 1 out. And Adam Philman coming to the plate.
You don't expect a ton of speed out of the 5 spot in the order, so good lineup construction right there to keep it that way. Get some speed in the middle, gives you more flexibility.
If you're London and you're thinking long ball to tie the game, Philman has 1 home run this season. Probably just looking to put the ball in play here and try to chip away at this 3-run deficit.
Pretty good at both on base average and slugging percentage. Ooh.
First pitch swinging and he fouls it away, strike 1.
Hasn't translated the slugging percentage into a ton of home runs, but the power exists. You have to be careful. Benitez has pitched better than his situation right now. 2nd and 3rd, 1 out would suggest. So just he has to keep that in his mind. It's very dangerous in baseball to get in the mentality that the only thing that matters is what happens in the moment. Because you look at 2nd and 3rd, 1 out, that's not all that matters. Contact leading up to it will really affect Benitez. It'll affect the framing behind the plate and how the defenders play. You can't just say, well, no matter what happens at 2nd and 3rd, whatever. It's not a bad situation yet.
Well, this inning started with an error to Jeff Cowan that allowed a base runner early, and then the double by Jaco. So 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. Benitez will try to pitch out of this 1-out jam. Here's the pitch. And that gets past the catcher. Plumpton off with a mask. No chance. In to score is Rickstein. And London now trails by 2.
Now you take a deep breath from the man, because even though that was a bad pitch, that was your fault. The rest of this inning has not been. The error at 2nd was out of your control. Benitez has pitched well for most of this inning. You cannot let that confidence go down right now.
No one throwing in the Baycat bullpen at the moment, but there are bodies down there.
Looks like the Majors bullpen's pretty empty too, in terms of anybody throwing.
2-1 is a roller to 2nd. Cowan with this one. Over to 1st in time. Crossing home plate is Jaco. And that's 2 away now.
So difficult to get a gauge on where the Baycats are going in terms of bullpen, because everybody's gone through different roles this season.
The third base number 8, Julian Johnson.
The farther this inning goes, the more you would think, okay, that's probably it for Benitez, and you want 2 innings out of the pen.
That's really about the maximum you could ask for.
That's exactly what they were hoping for.
Yeah, couldn't have drawn it up any better.
If you have a lead heading into the 8th and 2 innings for a bullpen, that's the way the sport goes. You need to be able to counter that.
Well, it's a 1-run game right now, so it's way too close to risk anything.
Yeah.
Benitez now with a fresh count to Julian Johnston, who swings and misses at the first offering. So nobody on here for the Majors, but they've scored twice. And again, you see them making the most of their base runners.
Given that Benitez has pitched better than, not of interest to any viewers, but I just dropped my pen. Sorry about that.
Now, did that roll under the?
I don't know. I don't.
You'll have to
I hope
look
not.
after the game and.
Anyway, given that Benitez has pitched better than his line in this inning would suggest, you might see him out there for the 8th. I'm going on a hunt for the pen now.
For those who have never been to Coates Stadium, there's a death trap right below these steel metal bleachers. There you got it. I didn't
play of the night from the booth.
I didn't think I heard it land, so there you go.
There we go. How about that?
Oh, it was a Sharpie too.
Yeah, really nice one.
Benitez buzzes that one inside, and it's 2-2 to Julian Johnston.
Maybe that's the positive energy that Juan Benitez needs right now.
What, you finding the Sharpie? Yeah. You give yourself way too much credit, my friend.
Rolling right below there. I mean, if I can jinx a no-hitter from the booth.
We don't affect the outcome on the field nearly as much as you might think. 3-2 now, and it's
I don't know,
time
man.
is called.
I've gotten criticism for affecting the no-hitter. Because I'm pro saying the no-hitter when it's happening.
Well, you could argue that in a small ballpark like this, the players can hear us. On the ground to 3rd. It's backhanded by Infante. Has to make a long, strong throw over, and it's in time for the out. But not before the Majors score 2 and come to within a run. It's 5-4 Barrie. Stretch time here at Coates Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV.
on your feet. 7th inning stretch. Let's hear ya. Sing it. Baycats. Baycats fans, make some noise on a Saturday night! What do you think we take this ball game?
Guys, don't get the next home game for your Baycats will be Tuesday, August 24th. At 7:30 p.m. start when the Toronto Maple Leafs battle your Barrie Baycats in a rescheduled game from July 8th. You can get your tickets at barriebaycats.com and avoid the lineup. Tuesday the 24th versus Toronto. Leading up to 7th for the Baycats.
Bottom of the 7th in Barrie, one of the more entertaining ball games we've had here at Coates Stadium this season. First place London Majors in town for the first time this year, and the Baycats hanging on to a 1-run lead. It's 5-4 behind starter Juan Benitez. Was able to get out of that 7th inning. The Majors scoring a couple though to keep this game close.
Has Jake Wilson led off the inning every time he's been up?
Yep.
Yeah.
All three
How often do you
times.
see that?
First, third, and fifth. Well, there's a few things that, you know, when you come to the ballpark, you never know what you're going to see, but there's one oddity there.
Has anybody been stranded yet?
No one has been stranded by London, and yet they scored 2 runs that inning.
Yeah.
There was the error that came around to score, and then the double that came around to score. And then 2 outs to end the inning, but nobody was on base. So high pop-up, will it stay playable? Third baseman Brownlee is over. Yep, takes it for the out, 1 away. Luke Kelly has retired 5 in a row. And Jeff Cowan will come to the plate.
Cowan's going to be wanting redemption from that
Second
error
baseman
from
number
last inning.
42, Jeff Cowan.
Yeah, that error opened up the scoring in the 7th inning. London scoring 2 big runs.
That weighs on you as an individual in a clubhouse. So if he gets a big hit here, or even just a base hit, it'll take some of that pressure off. Nice bunt.
Well, that's what Cowan does, is he...
If that had, it was a good approach. It's tough to say if it stayed fair because it was so obviously foul. But if he just centers that up a bit more and keeps about the same power behind it, he's got a decent chance to get the first.
Well, the Majors have had a couple of bunt attempts against the Baycats tonight. Successful ones as well. Cowan looking to return the favor on that attempt. Cowan has a 2-for-3 night and a run scored. Pitch from Kelly. And it's low in the dirt, ball 1-1-1.
Cowan's got an excellent eye, too. I think Josh Matlow really values the guys on his team that have really strong eyes because they tend to end up toward the top of the batting order more often than not.
Pitch up at his eyes, 2 balls and a strike.
We've evolved much past it when it comes to lineup construction. We've evolved much past valuing average and on-base percentage differently. Many managers tend to weigh the two pretty equally now, or even go with on-base more at the top of the order.
Yeah, a lot more than previous
Yeah.
generations of managers. These teams have a home and home to round out the 5-game season series 1 week from tonight here in Barrie. London right back here. And then they head to Labatt Park in London on Sunday, August 29th, for the 5th and final regular season matchup. 3-1 is fouled out of play. Well, if you haven't been to a Baycat game this season, there's 3 of them next week. Tuesday, Thursday, and then the Saturday night game against London. You'd have to think that might be a good one based on what we've seen here tonight. If you're going to pick one of those games, maybe the Saturday night might be a nice night to come out. 7 o'clock starts.
No limit on one, though.
No limit on what?
No limit on only going to one.
No,
Yeah.
that's true. Come to all of them. A lot of people like the 7 o'clock Saturday night games as you get out of here at a good time. Hopefully.
And as Ben Davy talks, a 5-hour game has
Right,
just emerged.
14 innings tonight. 3-1 from Luke Kelly. Here it is. 3-2, excuse me. And it's ball 4. Base on balls. Cowan reaches safely for the 3rd time tonight.
There's that great eye. It stays just as good with Ryan Rio now. But Rio's got a ton of power.
Designated hitter number 27, Ryan Rio.
0 for 3 this evening with a strikeout. And the conference on the mound, it looks like that might be Rube Shanderdat coming out. Along with catcher Byron Rickstein, there is some activity in the major bullpen. Quick chat with Luke Kelly to see how much he's got left in the tank. The pitch count on Kelly here. He has thrown 92 pitches, 56 strikes. And Roop will leave him in to face Ryan Rio. Lefty-lefty matchup. To Cowan at first. 1 out here in the 7th.
Second baseman not really playing as close to the bag as you would think for a double play down. More traditional.
Yeah, he's almost on the outfield grass. That's Hayden Jaco, the second baseman. Shifted slightly to the right. Pitch to Rio. On the ground, over near the on-deck circle, and through the legs of Marcella Cass, who's on deck.
Some weak contact earlier in this at-bat. You wonder if he tries to get him to chase here. Pitch maybe down and away.
Goes the other direction, and it's a foul ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. A little bit of light fog starting to drift in from right center field now. So we're seeing that moisture start to thicken, but it's not the low-lying fog that we've seen here previous nights. It's been kind of down at field level. It's well off the ground. And that would tend to affect fly balls potentially if it continues to get thick. Good eye by Rio.
It's tougher to see them.
Yep. Rio holds off, and it's 2-2. Left field side is pretty much clear, but when that fog comes in from the west, it's affecting more the right side of the diamond. 1 on, 1 out. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Barrie up by a run. Cowan the lead. Does not go. That one to the backstop, and now Cowan will trot to second. Scoring position with 1 out.
Now pay attention at the top of your screen once again at what the batter does at second. Different Baycats have had different approaches, but it's been the more active ones that have had more success at distracting the pitcher. If you're just turning on this game, there is a noticeable difference at how Luke Kelly pitches between whether he's stressed or whether it's all clear. Right now, it's pretty all clear, but you can get him stressed pretty easily.
He had retired 5 in a row prior to the walk to Cowan. Rio swings and misses, strike 3. Big out for Luke Kelly, and there's 2 down. Second strikeout of the night for Rio.
It says a lot about Luke Kelly if he can get through this part of the order this late in the game. He had his struggles early, but he's still pretty new to this league. If he can shut down Rio and Lacasse in a big situation, that manager's going to come out there really, really happy.
Kelly with just 3 strikeouts tonight, and he's gotten Rio twice. Left-handed hitting Marcel Lacasse, the shortstop now, with a man in scoring position and 2 away. First offering from Kelly is a called strike. Rickstein puts down the sign as Kelly checks his left shoulder. Here's the pitch. Blocked it at home plate, and Cowan stays put. The count is 1-1. Majors end the weekend against Kitchener tomorrow afternoon. They played Kitchener in a doubleheader yesterday, so three games in 3 days between the Majors and the Panthers, with this Baycat game in the middle of them. And it's a 2 o'clock first pitch at Jack Couch. Kelly really taking his time out there, and now Lacasse steps out.
Seems like the fog is going away just a little bit more now. Becoming more traditional, cool night game here at Coach.
Yeah, it's starting to dissipate but spread. Swing and a miss. And it's a 1-2 count to Marcel Lacasse. He's reached base twice tonight and scored a run. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. Big pitch coming up here from Luke Kelly. As the left-hander comes set, checks the runner, the leg kick, and the 1-2. Swing and a miss. And down goes Lacasse, and the Baycats strand a runner. And the Majors get off the field. 7 innings in the books here at Coates Stadium. It's the Baycats 5, the Majors 4. You're watching Baycats TV.
For Barrie to 7, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base.
Hey, Baycats fans, so we do have a winner in tonight's social media contest. Want to thank you all for uploading your Instagram stories to @Barrie Baycats with the hashtag Baycats for your chance to win the $50 gift card to shopbaycats.com and, of course, a Baycats t-shirt. The winner tonight, congratulations, @Alyssa Blais. That's @ALISSABLAIS on Instagram. Come meet me at the shopbaycats.com tent in 5 minutes to claim your prizes. And congratulations going out to you tonight. Thank you so much for that great stadium photo. And please follow us on all social channels, Twitter as well, @IBL Baycats.
Inning number 8 is sponsored by Barnstormer Brewing Company, the official local beer of the Barrie Baycats. Barnstormer Brewing Company.
What a ball game here at Coates Stadium tonight as the Baycats look for their first win over London this season. A 5-4 lead as we head to the 8th. It is brought to you by Barnstormer Brewing Company, the official local beer of the Barrie Baycats.
Leading up the 8th for the Majors, the left fielder number 30, Robert Doyle.
Doyle, Britt, McQueen all due up here for Roop Chanderdat and the Majors.
Against Juan Benitez, Ben.
Benitez has thrown 87 pitches, 55 strikes. We've seen him get well past 100 pitches on other occasions this year. Here he is in the top of the 8th. And I think you had found that this is the longest start for...
Yeah, it is. He's gone 7 innings 3 times. 3 times. And then after that, it's 5 2/3, 5 2/3, and then 2 5-inning performances.
So this is his longest start of the year.
Yeah.
I guess Brad Grieveson's had a couple of lengthier starts as well. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Grieveson, one of his longest performances wasn't a start, though, because he came in after the starter didn't have a good day. I forget who it was, but he just had a really off day, wasn't seeing anything super well from the mound. And then Grieveson comes in relief and was just fantastic. think the Baycats were on the road that day.
Robert Doyle tonight is singled and scored, and then reached on a fielder's choice. Was caught stealing.
Oh.
Broken bat, and it's foul. Over near the Barrie bullpen, 1-2.
Sounded really good, but it kind of sounded really good because of the broken bat.
Final game of the weekend for the Baycats, and they're back here 3 straight nights next week. Tuesday night against Toronto, Thursday against Kitchener, and then London right back here on Saturday, and then they visit London on Sunday. And that will wrap up the 5-game series between these clubs. Every team in the league playing each other exactly 5 times in this 30-game season. So a shorter schedule than usual, but perfect balance,
Yep.
which is something that's has not been the norm in the IBL. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Benitez puts that one in the dirt, 2-2.
Teams are still having trouble finding consistent pitching rotations, but a guy like Benitez for the Baycats makes that a whole lot easier. We've seen Marshall Leishman have a couple of good starts as well. There have been some really nice performances from the Baycats this year on the mound.
High fly ball, shallow center, diving Wilson. He does not come up with it. It's picked up by the left fielder. Quick throw in and a head first slide by Robert Doyle. He's in with a double. Great effort by Wilson, but he just missed. So a double for Doyle to start off the 8th for the Majors.
Sometimes you try 100%, it just doesn't go your way. In a meeting on the mound, assessing how much Benitez has left in the tank.
The first baseman, number 45, Evan Britt.
Not a hard hit ball by Doyle, but perfectly placed.
I believe there's action in that bullpen now, Ben. It's tough to see 100%, but I think there might be action in that Baycats bullpen.
Benitez pitch count still only at 94. Showing bunt and pulling the bat back is Britt. 1-0. 4 runs, 4 hits for the Majors. 5 runs, 6 hits for the Baycats. Barrie with the only 2 errors tonight.
Benitez was really hoping to get that leadoff runner because this is the 9th spot. And if they get Britt, it's back to the top of the order. He was hoping to get to the top of the order with 2 out and just face McQueen.
With nobody out, the number 9 hitter, Britt, has shown bunt twice now. As Britt gets a series of signs from the third base coach. See what happens here. Doyle at second, nobody out here in the 8th. Let's see if they give up the run or give up the out to move the runner along 90 feet. Britt ahead in the count, 2-0. Pitch from Benitez. And this one hit back up the middle and into center field. Rounding third is Doyle. Up with it, Wilson makes the throw, and it's cut off. The throw is in, and scoring is Doyle. And we have a 5-all tie here at Coates Stadium. RBI single by Evan Britt.
Benitez, not quite as sharp this half inning. We'll see what kind of, how much patience Josh Matlow will have. He's not missing bats.
Well, first time tonight the Majors have back-to-back hits off Benitez. Doyle and Britt, 8 and 9 hitters in the order. And we're back to the top of the lineup now for Chris McQueen.
It gets really tough now for Benitez. His stuff is not quite as sharp as it was early in the game, and now top of the order and a bunt.
Over to first, and it's just in time for the out.
That's a gift from the London Majors. You can't, in my opinion, you cannot be bunting this late in the game when the pitcher does not look as sharp as he has all game, because you've had limited chances against Benitez all night, and now throwing away an out in a situation, A, where you have the top of the order, and the lineup turns around again and favors you, and the momentum seems to be shifting your way both through play and how the pitcher is performing. I do not like the call to bunt there.
Well, when you play this way, and it's not the first time the Majors have done this, you put a lot of confidence and maybe some pressure on your pitching and your defense because you're trusting them to get outs the rest of the way. Here's a long fly ball to right fielder Avery Tuck. It's in time, and the runner stays put. Good strong throw in. Fans appreciate that effort. 2 away here in the 8th.
They've got a good defensive outfield. LeBlanc can play either corner. Jake Wilson in center, usually pretty good. Has a ton of speed, and then really nice arm and right there, shown by Avery Tuck.
Josh Matlow comes to the mound and he wants a right-hander. Looks like he'll take the ball from Juan Benitez. He will as he comes off the mound. A great effort tonight by the Baycat ace hurler as he gets an ovation from the crowd as he makes his way to the Baycat dugout. We're tied at 5 as the Baycats go to the pen for the first time tonight. You're watching Baycats TV.
Defensive change for the Baycats in the pitch, number 23, Chris Cox.
Hard-throwing right-hander Chris Cox into pitch for the Barrie Baycats, and he'll inherit a base runner at second. That's Evan Britt, his RBI single, tying this game at 5.
Yeah, Chris Cox, 32-year-old righty from St. George, Ontario, stands at 6'1" on the mound. Has had experience with multiple IBL teams this year, joins the Baycats for the first time. Has pitched in 5 games, 3.85 ERA across 7 innings. Has had his struggles at times, but has been lights out at other times.
First pitch to Byron Rickstein is high. 1-0 to the catcher.
The Baycats were playing with the idea of putting him in the rotation early in the year, but almost immediately they decided he was going to be a better fit in the bullpen in high leverage situations. You'll see a fastball, slider, and a change from Chris, and you imagine that the fastball is going to be, again, the emphasis in short relief.
Cox, a former Brantford Red Sox, and played for the Toronto Maple Leafs as far back as 2011.
Yep.
Fouled back to the screen, and it's 2-1. His last game was Wednesday night in Toronto. Took a loss, 2 innings of relief. Allowed just 1 earned run, though.
He's had a couple of outings that he'd want to forget, but other than that, he's been pretty good.
Right side and through. And they're going to send Britt around third. Ball picked up by Tuck. He scores easily, and London back on top. Their second lead of the night, make it 6-5 Majors. RBI single by Byron Rickstein puts London back on top.
Just caught a little bit too much plate. It's interesting. Different kinds of pitchers have different approaches, and Juan Benitez and even Luke Kelly late in the game, I was really telling them to just go after the strike zone. But Chris Cox coming in has a little bit more flexibility because he should be super, super fresh out of that bullpen. So you should be able to dance around the strike zone with a lot more precision than the two starters. If you catch too much plate while you're trying to do that, it will not end well. You have to either go 100% going for the strike zone or 100% going for finesse around the strike zone and going for your spots. If you end up in that kind of 50-50 where you're going for the spots and you miss the spots, it's going to end really, really not super well for you more times than not. So all Cox has to do is find one or the other and stick with that, I think.
So that run will be charged to Benitez, and it closes the line on him tonight. And Brownlee does not like that. Called strike. And he better be careful here as he's barking at home plate umpire Jeff Rose. Still only 2 strikes in the count.
I'll be honest, I missed that. Where was the call? What was your thought?
Looked like it was low.
Ooh. We haven't seen a ton of those today where it's been low and challenged.
Breaking pitch, 0-2, and that one goes his way, and the count is 1-2.
See, that's almost the opposite, where we have seen the wide strike zone inside to the right-handed hitters.
Well, you usually see the umpire not give you that pitch if you're going to bark at him with 2 strikes.
Well,
you want to save your choicest words for the end of the at-bat. Runner goes, 1-2, outside, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
However you want to say it happened, I think Brownlee got a call he didn't like, and then he got a call that was maybe a little bit generous compared to the rest of what the home plate umpire has done tonight. So, reset now.
Rickstein takes second without a throw. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Cox from the belt. Checks the runner. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed! Cleveland Brownlee goes down on strikes for the 3rd time tonight, and the Baycats get off the field, but not before London scores 2 and takes the lead. They take a 5-4 deficit and turn it into a 6-5 lead as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. You're watching Baycats TV. We'll be right back.
Congratulations, Baycats fans. That's 5 strikeouts, which means all of you get a free taco, courtesy of Yo Taco, located at 3 Clapperton Street. Please pick up your coupon as you leave the park tonight.
Hey, Baycats fans, we're getting us down the right field line. Here's the Baycats pen, and we need to really get
Bottom of the 8th inning at Coates Stadium. Baycats now find themselves on the wrong side of a 6-5 score. London with a pair in the top half of the 8th, and now the Baycats come to the plate. Avery Tuck, David LeBlanc, and Brent Fianfonte to face 33-year-old Mike DeLong, who comes on in relief of Luke Kelly.
Yeah, Mike DeLong from Windsor, Ontario, is a righty. He's had limited success this year, to be honest with you. A 16.61 ERA. Has given up runs in the last couple of appearances, 6 against Welland July 30th, and then 2 each against Toronto and Hamilton his last 2 times out. That said, the 2 times before that, including once against Barrie, didn't give up a run. So he'll be hoping that experience against Barrie helps him out, and that this will be a better appearance.
Fans don't like that first pitch strike to Avery Tuck.
They haven't been huge on the strike zone tonight. It hasn't been as bad, I don't think, in my opinion.
3rd season for DeLong in London. He has yet to record an IBL win. And this is his 6th appearance of the season, as you mentioned. This one hit to right field. It's a base hit. How about Avery Tuck? 3 for 4 tonight.
Between his performance tonight and what the fans react every time he comes up, I think Avery Tuck could become a quick fan favorite.
Drove in 2 with a triple that charged up the Baycats in the 5th inning. And David LeBlanc now will bat with 1 on and nobody out in the 8th. Eighth inning brought to you by Barnstormer Brewing Company, the official local beer of the Barrie Baycats.
Oh, they almost got him on that pickoff.
LeBlanc tonight has reached base twice. He was hit by a pitch and he drew a walk and scored in the 4th.
I'm going to be the opposite here. Against the reliever, I don't think he should be taking too big a lead off first, especially because David LeBlanc has seen the ball well tonight and is an excellent base runner in his own right. So early on in the inning, nobody out. I think you have a real chance here against a pitcher who hasn't done super well lately.
Another throw over and back on his belly is Tuck.
Yeah, that's less a response into what the lead was that time and more a response on how close the first one was. Because the first one was actually really, really close at first.
Tuck with the lead, he does not go, and it's fouled back to the screen. Count is 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's funny how for a split second you forget how the screen is right there when the ball's coming right back at you, huh? A lot of people ducking out of the way. I know I probably would have done the same if I'm honest.
I've spilled a beverage or 2 behind the screen at home plate. It's just human reflex.
Yep.
Tuck does have 2 steals this season. Dangling those hands with the lead. There he goes. A bunt foul.
So looking ahead for London, if they manage to get their ace back on the mound earlier on in the week rather than later, this Baycats performance might convince them to put their ace on the mound against Barrie next weekend.
Yeah, interesting point.
Yeah.
Well, they got the 2 games. They got the Saturday and the Sunday, so
yeah,
one of those 2, good chance that we may see Pedro de los Santos. 1 ball, 2 strikes to David LeBlanc, and another throw over. Tuck is back.
That's a waste pitch. So the first time it was close. The second time you're just reinforcing that. That time there's no way the base runner is going to be far enough away from that bag to do anything because he's already seen it twice. So that's him stalling for time and then getting a new sign.
And another one back to the screen. Went off speed on that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And that's why, because the last 2 times the pitcher managed to get exactly what he wanted from his catcher and set up in a good scenario, the ball was fouled right back. So
Mike?
now you're not pitching to contact anymore. You're trying to get him to either chase or strike out and pitch inside.
Mike DeLong on in relief of Luke Kelly, who's in line for his first win of the season here tonight, should this lead hold. Runner goes.
Oh, inside.
Throw down, and safe is Tuck.
I think it hit him anyway.
It did hit him. He was slow to react. He got out of the way. And LeBlanc gets to first, so that puts 2 on now for Branfi and Foddy.
So there are two trains of thought right there in that scenario. I don't think going up in the zone is as much of a scenario as you want it to be because it risks the ball dropping just a little bit too far and it being a fastball right in the middle. So you either go inside or outside. Outside's a good bet because you can get him to chase either up or down. He's been seeing the ball well in that at-bat. Inside's a lot riskier if you're not 100% sure you have your command because it can brush the batter and you're in a tough scenario after that. Pitching inside with precision takes immense skill, but also you need to have your stuff that day, even if you're a super skilled pitcher.
Branfi and Foddy will try to reach base for the first time tonight, or move the runners up. Certainly a possibility here. Nobody out.
The best pitchers on the planet sometimes miss their spots inside, so it's a really tough thing to pull off.
See if Infante shows bunt here with nobody out. Runners at first and second. Infielders taking a couple of steps in, and now time is called. And Infante walking over to the third base coach. Perhaps just discussing the game plan here and make sure everybody's on the same page. You saw the corner infielders move in a little bit on that last pitch, Patrick.
Yeah, they're hoping to generate weak contact.
Andrew White, the third base coach for the Baycats.
That would suggest they're switching their strategy and just trying to hammer the strike zone once again and get the batter on top of the ball.
Shows bunt, pulls it back, and it's 2 balls and no strikes.
No, they're sticking with that strategy, trying to get him to chase in the bottom outside part. I think that's what they probably should have done against LeBlanc. Because you can locate that pitch.
They tried to get the majors to think they were changing the strategy, I guess. That's the beautiful thing about baseball. You never know if it's a decoy or bluff.
Yeah.
Never want to assume in this game. Runner goes to third, and he's in. Unable to get a decent throw off was Rickstein on a delayed steal.
That was brilliant stuff from Avery Tuck. He noticed, and I'm not sure most people in the stadium may have noticed, that the catcher dropped that pitch. He was actually, the ball was right below him, and he wasn't exactly hurrying to pick it up because he didn't think anything would happen. Avery Tuck on second base noticed that, caught everybody napping. Great stuff.
Boy, those are the finer points of the ball game that can really make a huge difference. Let's see if it comes to the Baycats' fruition here with runners on the corners. Here's the pitch. It's outside, ball 4, so that'll load the bases. So really that little play, not of much consequence, but still, those are the things that you really like to see from your base runners.
Bases loaded now.
James Anderson.
First base number 34, James Anderson.
Told we have close to 100 viewers tonight on Baycats TV. We want to thank you for joining us late in this ball game. Bottom of the 8th inning, Baycats down 6-5. We want to welcome viewers in London tonight as well, of course, and other cities and towns around the IBL who might be watching this game tonight. We're glad to have you aboard.
Yeah, I hope you're enjoying this one as much as we are. It's been a blast.
And hey,
super fun.
Share the link on your social feeds as well if you know anybody who might want to watch what should be an entertaining finish to a good ball game here tonight between two tough teams, the Barrie Baycats and the London Majors. Crowd's been into this one right from the beginning. 6-5 Majors. Bases loaded. Anderson fouls it off, and he's behind in the count 0-2.
Bases loaded. He's had trouble locating. Just wait. Just wait. Don't swing unless it looks exceptional.
A single, a hit batter, and a walk have loaded the bases here for Mike DeLong.
1-2 now. Still nobody out. You need to make sure you're not swinging at pitches outside the strike zone. Sounds simple, but it's not.
Middle infielder's back just a little bit on the dirt. Be interesting to see if they try to cut off the runner here. Pitch just missed, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. This is one of those situations that require quick thinking. If it's a ground ball, where do you go? Do you go home for the force out? Do you try to get the double play? Take the 2 outs there?
Go for the double play.
Nobody out in this inning, but
you need to go for the double play in those scenarios.
Even in a 6-5 ball game?
Yeah. because you need to trust the offense that's gotten you to first place.
Fouled over the screen and out of play.
You need to eliminate outs from this ball game. Your offense is more than capable of putting runs on the board, either through home runs or other means. You need to trust that and just go for as many outs as possible on any given play. If it ties it, it ties it.